You don't think Jimmy Butler would fit us better?
I'm not mad at either one of them.
He more defensive minded.
Yeah,
I think Jimmy, just because he went to Marquette and I think that's somewhere he.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at either one. I think the winner of this, if this trade actually happens, the winner will be Milwaukee Bucks, because whoever they get, it's actually an upgrade physically.
Okay.
For Middleton, like he's only playing 24 minutes. You're like that's
exactly.
You're trying to win a championship. I mean,
but who else we got to give up?
I know, but what I'm saying is,
but you can't take that risk. And
where does he end up though? He ends up in Phoenix or in Miami?
Miami. Yeah. If you get Jimmy Butler or Bradley Beal, I'm taking Bucks
over the Celtics.
The reason is this.
I don't know about that. Gil's Arena talks about the Bucks trading for Jimmy Butler or Bradley Beal. Check out what they had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I thought that was a big trade.
A mega trade.
A mega trade where Jimmy's going there, right, and Beal's going to Milwaukee.
Hopefully.
And he's saying he will.
Who told you that?
And he said he won't use his trade clause. He'll lift his trade clause if you get him to Milwaukee. Did I just dream that? Or is that
May? There's talks about it.
No. Oh, okay,
It's a couple mega trades.
Some blockbuster, if you want to call them.
Beal help us?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, how?
Because
we're not in the same situation like the Suns.
No. You have a Giannis.
They're getting better.
Right.
The Suns have a KD.
Right.
Yeah, but y'all have a Giannis that demands he demands stuff, right? So what ends up happening is the reason you guys are not where you were is because your number 2 option back then, Chris Middleton, now is your 3rd, but he is not where he used to be, right?
He fell off.
Not because of his skill fell off, his body fell off, right?
Injuries.
So he's not as impactful as he used to be. And I think that's what's actually hurting the team, is that your 3rd option can't be as dominant. You remember he was the half-court mid-range. He was the guy who kind of glued it all together, and that's what they don't have.
Yeah, Middleton kind of fell off, injuries, but in a playoff setting, he could be key for a contender. So maybe the Heat get Chris Middleton, Beal goes to the Bucks. Maybe it'll help ramp up their team. Giannis and Dame are playing much better with each other in their 2nd season, so they're going to be a force in the playoffs. But if they can find another 3rd option, a Beal, a Zach LaVine, maybe a Jimmy, that's 50-50, they're definitely going to move up in the Eastern Conference.
So you think that Bradley Beal's been impactful with the Suns as a 3rd option?
If he averages if Beal averages 18, think about he's averaging 18. His 18 in Milwaukee
averaging right now?
It was like 12 or 13.
His 18 in Milwaukee is a big difference.
Okay.
Like remember, that's the 3rd option 18. That's a different. That's like the old Drew Holiday. You know what I mean? Like they need his 18.
But I don't think Beal will have the same impact as a Drew Holiday. Drew is a better defender, a better shot maker when it counts the most. Beal, he's a scorer, but if his shot isn't going down, is he going to be able to keep up on defense? Can he initiate the offense, dribble the ball up the court? I don't think he can do that with a Drew Holiday, even though if you compare their talents on the offensive end, maybe you give it to Beal, but I would rather have Drew Holiday over Bradley Beal.
Because right now, it's just 2 guaranteed.
But just remember, when they were scoring less they were scoring less per game. And everybody, when Milwaukee was playing good and they was winning, they were scoring less because they had Drew, they had Brook, they wasn't scorers, it was just Giannis and Middleton. Now that they got...
Well, Giannis, Middleton, Drew was the 3rd option.
That's what I'm saying, but Drew he wasn't a dynamic scorer for them as a 3rd option. Now you look at 3rd option, Middleton, if he's still that, 13.
13, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in 18 games so far this season, playing about 24 minutes per game.
Yeah, so you
still recovering from the bilateral ankle surgery.
You add 5 points, and you say, all right, is Brad giving us the defense we was missing from Drew Holiday?
But it's better defense than Middleton right now.
It definitely is.
Yeah, but we need defense like you said, like Drew Holiday. Like, is he going to be able to do that? Because if we match up against Boston, okay, Bradley Beal is guarding Jason Tatum?
He's going to guard Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Remember, that's so he's...
Okay.
It's the St. Louis thing.
And then Dame would guard who? Drew Holiday?
Yep.
Drew Holiday.
And then...
That leaves, who was the number 2?
Who's guarding Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown will be probably Giannis.
No, who's the 3? 2. Who's the 2-3?
Gary
Trent?
No, your 2 is the shooter. Jordan.
White boy?
White boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dirty Bird.
Green?
Yeah, he's going to guard
He's
White.
coming off the bench though. He's not.
What? So it's one of those.
I don't know who the 2 for.
I'm just going to.
Gary Bird.
They're going to stick Giannis on Jayden Brown.
No, Giannis
Giannis
got to
playing
guard.
before. He'll guard Tatum before Brown.
Giannis got. Yeah.
No, he's going
Shoot, Giannis may have to guard Porzingis, depending on the matchup that the Boston Celtics are running. So it's going to be tough if the Bucks have to play the Celtics in the playoffs. Dame Lillard's not known for defense. He'll try. He's not like a low IQ player, but there's only so much you can do when you're 6'1" and you got to guard a Tatum or a Jaylen Brown, a 6'1" versus 6'7", 6'8". You already know the Boston Celtics, they're going to play bully ball. They're going to pretty much play from the inside out, try to get all the paint points if you got to go against those smaller defenders. So again, Beal may help them on the offensive end, but he may hurt them on the defensive end. They're not going to get any better with Beal.
to. That's Lopez.
Giannis is the 4, right?
Oh no, because Derek White start.
Derek White
That's
start.
who's
White,
yeah.
Holiday, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis.
Yeah. So I'd rather put Giannis on
Tatum.
Giannis on Brown
Nah, I don't know.
because he plays stronger.
Okay.
So I'd rather try to keep that strength on him so he don't try to play bully basketball.
What do you mean stronger?
Like when he drives, he's a lot stronger.
Then who?
Tatum.
Oh.
So I don't want Giannis guarding Tatum, and then you have Bradley Beal trying to get posted up.
I think that's what Steve Kerr was saying too. It's like, yeah, we need somebody stronger in here.
It's going to be a matchup nightmare for the Milwaukee Bucks, but you will get better if you get rid of Chris Middleton and add a Beal. Maybe they should try to look for a Zach LaVine. I've seen a couple trade scenarios out there where Beal may end up in Chicago and LaVine may end up in Milwaukee. So you can mix and match it, but you definitely want to try to get rid of Chris Middleton if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. There are some shooting guards and small forwards out there that can improve your team.
I don't like the mid-season trades like that with teams that's in the hunt.
Yeah.
Especially like in that position.
You gotta like mid-season trades, man. You're looking for the one right person. It's a rare like.
You don't think Jimmy Butler would fit us better?
I'm not mad at either one of them.
I do.
I'm gonna just be honest.
I do, because he.
With Jimmy Butler, again, when he's locked in and engaged, he can be a top 10, top 15 player, especially in a playoff setting. But what happens if Doc Rivers challenges Jimmy Butler, says something that Jimmy Butler don't like? He's just going to pout, take a couple $1 million hit to his bank account and request a trade, demand a trade. So with Jimmy Butler as a Heat fan, hopefully they can get rid of him. I don't care where he goes at this point. I'm just ready to see a different energy in Miami. Maybe Jimmy defensively and just a better overall player right now than Beal and Chris Middleton. It may help him out even more.
He's more defensive minded.
Yeah,
I think Jimmy, just because he went to Marquette and I think that's somewhere he would.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at either one.
I just don't want him to end up looking like, and not that this is a bad look, but for Jimmy, like end up like how Jay Crowder was when he was in Milwaukee. Because Jay could have done more. I think Jay's a better player, but he was regulated to just be that guy that's out there behind there, like cleaning up.
Nah, Jimmy's more of a like, come on.
More of a what? That's the old Jimmy.
Nah, Jimmy's
This new Jimmy, the dude we see him running around.
Jimmy's
Well, the new Jimmy is pretty much the old Jimmy. Again, if he doesn't get his way, he's going to pout, be petty. But just as far as Jay Crowder versus Jimmy Butler player comparisons, you still got to go with Jimmy Butler, even though Jay Crowder, he's going to play defense. He's going to make that corner three-point shot. We've seen Jay Crowder in Miami, the work that he's done, and in his career. So he's a good complementary player, maybe a missing piece as far as if you got your 3 all-star players, who else can you sign for a decent contract? That's where Crowder fits in. But just as far as being a better fit, Butler, of course, over Jay Crowder, just because Butler can do much more.
But if you're the Suns, Bucks, whoever, seeing the situation that's going on in Miami, how are you going to think that, damn, this could happen to me down the road?
Exactly.
I'm like,
There's no assurance in that.
his chances is better with either team, though, Bucks or Suns.
yeah, on paper right now.
Jimmy.
Now
Like
he
his,
gets there.
like his chance. So down the road, it wouldn't even. First of all, you couldn't even do that because you playing with guys who actually have a ring.
Like,
So
you don't
you
think
can't
they
go to
gonna play that?
Milwaukee
They
and tell
ain't playing
Giannis,
that.
like, such and such. You can't go to the Suns and tell KD.
KD,
No. You got to fall in line.
I think
Yeah, he's definitely going to fall in line. And then Jimmy Butler, he'll be, 36 this year? He wants that last bit of money he can get from the NBA. So, of course, he's going to play it nice. You know, Jimmy Butler, he only acts out every 3 or 4 years. So these next 3 or 4 years is pretty much the rest of his career. So, of course, he's not going to go in there on some bully type stuff, petty stuff in Phoenix. You got KD there, you got Booker there. They got a good infrastructure. Same with the Milwaukee Bucks, a Doc Rivers, a Giannis, a Dame. You can't play those games with them, so he will be a better fit away from Miami. And as a Heat fan, get rid of Jimmy Butler ASAP.
I think the winner of this, if this trade actually happens, the winner will be Milwaukee Bucks. Because whoever they get, it's actually an upgrade physically.
Okay.
For Middleton.
Yeah,
like he's
that's
only
true.
playing 24 minutes. You're
Right.
like that's
Exactly.
You're trying to win a championship. I mean,
But who else we got to give up?
I know, but what I'm saying is,
but you
he's
can't
still-
take that risk and
Where
wait.
does he end up though? He
Yeah,
ends
two
up
an-
in Phoenix or
No,
in Miami?
Miami. Because he had 2 ankle injuries
though?
and knees, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Said he had to relearn how to walk this offseason after having surgery on both
he did
ankles.
great. He did great, but at this moment in time,
He's solidified.
you're gonna.
Yeah,
in
he
the
got a
Bucks
Mike read it. He just
Yeah.
freak injuries. That's just too much, man.
Yeah, as far as Chris Middleton, yeah, he's going through it physically, the injuries. But if you're Miami, you really want to see how many first-round picks can you get for a trade for Jimmy Butler. That's where you have that 4 or 5 team deal. Again, I don't know how much the Heat can get out of Chris Middleton, but at this point, it's a much better option than a Jimmy Butler. At least you know Chris is going to try out there, give it his all. With Jimmy, it looks like he's ready to go. He's playing like he's ready to go. He's giving up out there. I'll take a Chris Middleton on one leg over a Jimmy Butler.
Also,
We know how good he can be, how good he is, but it's like
also has a player option after this season, so
So is that all we have to give up? It would just be him, or is it somebody else?
probably gonna sprinkle some more stuff in there. I think he's set to make
but
make it 32 this year, make 34
You
next.
gotta get rid of Brook, bro. He ain't doing it, bro.
But who's our big?
Giannis is your big.
Put Giannis
You
at the
need more
5.
than that.
I mean, you can bring somebody else in, but you just got that. He not doing it, man.
Nurk potentially. I'm just
Nurk would be cool. He just not doing it.
Is
We can't be letting these kind of guys fly under the radar like he's supposed to be doing.
Is
that.
Bobby Portis
He not
a starter?
Man, Bobby, he supposed to be a starter.
Like, I mean, he can't guard 5s. He can't play 5. I mean, what is Lopez really? He can shoot a 3 too, right?
Yep.
So what makes him any different than Lopez? Like if they said, all right, Lopez sit down
He
and
block
Bobby,
shots.
who?
Brook block shot.
Yeah, Brook, classic traditional center, can make a jump shot, make the 3-point shot. He still has some run left in him. He is starting to fade away in that Bucks offense, and defensively, yeah, he's going to be there. He's a wall, but maybe you can get somebody for Portis and Brook as well. Looks like they're trying to clean house and try to get better, so maybe they can get another center. But long term, I don't think Giannis should be in that center position. Just depends on the matchups, especially in the playoffs.
He a shot blocker.
Yeah.
Drive the lane still?
Yeah. He be
Oh,
blocking. He be beating.
Okay.
That's the only thing I use.
I ain't really see much layups. I mean,
Because he don't rebound. He don't do nothing else.
so
but
Porter
just
started
be-
5 of the 40 games this season, so very, very sparingly.
at what? At the 5? At the 4?
He probably
I mean, Giannis,
4.
where he coming for Giannis? Like the way Giannis play, Giannis can play 5 if he wants to.
I hear you.
If he
Right?
wants
I
to.
hear you.
I think they play him
Not
at the
the best
5
option.
with Portis at the 4 sometimes. They play him at the 4.
My thing is matching up with Boston.
That's what I think it should be. Giannis matched up with Porzingis. They go small.
Listen, I can
Put
tell you
Bobby,
this.
small.
or put Bobby on.
If you get Jimmy Butler or Bradley Beal, I'm taking Bucks.
Over the Celtics.
The reason is this.
I don't know about that.
The X factor is Giannis. Giannis don't play that game. Y'all have a series where you shoot 12 for 52. Giannis y'all up then.
Yeah.
Because
With the 3-point shot with Boston, believe they're averaging 40, 53s a game, or having a high amount of 3-point field goals being taken. They can have a few bad games, but I don't think they're going to have a bad series. Eventually, they'll snap out of it. You got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They're going to be able to drive to the basket, especially with those mismatches. The undersize of Milwaukee, especially from the point guard, shooting guard, and small forward position. You're not going to be able to match up with the Jason Tatum and the Jaylen Brown. Even if they are having a bad 3-point shooting series, I think they can get it together and still beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series.
Because he ain't taking threes no more. He's posting up and getting to that free throw line. So a guy who's shooting about 68 from the 2, you can't have one of those nights against against them.
Yep.
You're gonna literally, if you're shooting
Yep.
50-something threes against Giannis,
Yep.
you better be stopping him.
Yeah. But how many
Like, you
games-
literally got to hold him at like 46% to still win that game. If he's sitting there attacking the whole time, going for layups, dog, you can't win.
And you running down.
Mathematically, you can't win that game.
And you running down, shooting, motherfucker. You come down, shoot, miss.
Yep.
Giannis, 2. Shoot, miss again. Giannis, 2 more.
That's the thing with shooting a lot of threes. You miss those threes and you get Giannis on that fast break. No one's going to stop Giannis. Only thing that can offset Boston Celtics struggling from the 3 is if Giannis is struggling from the free throw line. You can do hack of Giannis the last 2 minutes. It's a tie game. You're down by a few points. You can slow the game down and be able to make some shots if Giannis is struggling shooting free throws.
And 1. 5-point.
But
twist.
how many games do you reasonably expect the Celtics to have like that if that's what you're banking on
1 or
in
2.
the 7-game series?
I mean,
Okay, if Giannis was on the Dallas team, and the way they were shooting the ball still, how they shot the ball in that Dallas game, like you have a guy who's not going to be playing the 3-point, and you shooting 50 of them, they shooting 30. Mathematically, you're winning if you make more, right? He's not. He's free throws and layups. You gotta be shooting in the 40, 45 to 60% just to keep up with his guaranteed damn near 2s and free throws.
So if we know they're going to shoot 52 threes, we don't know the percentage that they're going to shoot. What's our defensive strategy?
Good question.
52, we know. We know they shooting 52 tonight. They're going to shoot them. What is our strategy to stop this from happening?
But do you want them to?
That's why I asked
Do you
the
want
question.
them to shoot threes, or you
Can
want
you
them to
handle the 2s? If my strategy is take them off the line
and we going over
and we go into the we reach them at the rim, we meet them at the rim, everything at the rim, take them off the line. Now what kind of game are we playing at this point? No threes.
They uncomfortable.
They uncomfortable. Who's making 2s? Who's doing 2 dribble pull-ups? One guy on that team. Jaylen Brown.
Jason Tatum.
He's making layups.
2 dribble pull-up. He'll get a
Jaylen
midi,
more.
2 dribble,
Yeah, Jason
fade
Tatum's
on
the
you.
jumper,
Yeah,
but
mid-range.
Brown get into the lane.
He gonna get in the lane. He the only one.
Everybody
Everybody else
else
uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're gonna be tripping.
They gonna be trying to step, sidestep, No, we stay down.
If I'm gonna push anybody to the lane, I'm pushing
Good point.
probably Derek White.
Derek White.
I'm gonna push Derek White, Al Horford, and Porzingis. Just
All
run them
day.
off the line.
All day.
Make them, just run them off the line.
Hauser, Pritchard, run them off.
Yeah, just run them off the line. Right. The only person, and me, if Pritchard comes in the game, I'm gonna treat him like Barrera.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna treat him like Jason Terry.
Absolutely.
I'm doubling him with every pick and roll.
Every time. Make him give it up.
I'm just.
We're not taking a chance.
Because
I think it'll be a good, solid playoff matchup. I want to see Milwaukee versus Boston, especially if those trades can happen on Milwaukee's end. But just as far as that one key trade, I agree that either Beal or Jimmy Butler is a much better upgrade than a Chris Middleton, especially in this point in his career. But we'll see what happens moving forward if the Milwaukee Bucks can make that key trade.